Hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's the Friday, the 15th day of March 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers, Daily Graphic. Economy in last 12 months. Ghana makes progress. IMF Managing Director. Ghana card at birth begins. December polls will be free and fair. EC boss. The Ghanaian Times. Forthcoming December 7 general election. EC vows to deliver credible and transparent polls. Konfanoche Teaching Hospital launches stroke thrombolysis service to save stroke patients. State of the Nation address, debate ends. You lack moral justification to criticize government. Afenyo marking to minority. VIP launches Ghana card number at birth. Daily Guide. Iyoko bust for over 113.9 thousand Ghana cedis Momo fraud. Babies get Ghana card at birth. IGP Jean Mensah promised peaceful elections. Undersea cable disruption affects data services. NCA. Kaswa teen killers in court face judgment May 7. New Weekend Crusading Guide will tackle all security issues before election 24. IGP assures EC. Ghana card number at birth initiative commences. Dr. Baumia. Undersea cable caused disruptions in mobile and data services. NCA. KK Kabobo dead. The Insight. Doomsaw minority ASEP blame energy sector debt for power crisis. Apostle Kain goes gaga for Mahama as part of building Ghana tour. Hooray, Kenke prices going down. Now sales at 2 cedis, says our Greek minister. Google fires engineer for standing up for Palestine. The Herald. Akufo-Addo orders Jubilee House workers to reject anti-gay bill from Parliament. 3 NPP mothers, in quote, joined Baumia's running mate list as selection assumes gender consideration. So you have the Chief of Staff, Fremont Separi, the Communications Minister, Asla Akufo, and then you have the Administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund, Irene Natoshi Ado. YE moves to train 21,000 youth in various vocations. Prison service sends 4 angry officers after the Herald newspaper over KFC rice jailbreak story. UK authorities investigate prominent Ghanaian figure of a big money movement. The Daily Statesman, no cause for alarm. IGP promises to address security concerns before December polls. Ghana gets first credit rating agency to assist financial markets. NSS, Comfort, unite to empower women. Ghana card number at birth revolutionary. The New Finder. Ghana card number at birth takes off. Telcos blame blackout on cutting submarine fiber optic cables. Technology, nature-based solutions crucial to climate change fight. Jinapo. The Catholic Standard. Catholic Church, one of leading development partners in Ghana. Malta president visits Hope Exchange Center. Some priests have no passion for evangelization. Bishop Louis. Africa's natural resources must benefit local populations. Second. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly. Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning is Nana Akomia. He's the MD of STC and a former cabinet minister of this republic. He's currently the VIP of the Baumia 2024 campaign. Nana, good morning.
Morning, Randy.
Right. Also with me on the show this morning is the son of man, Member of Parliament for the North Zone constituency, ranking member, Foreign Affairs, Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Samuel Kujatu Ablakwa. Sami, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Doc.
Right.
Good morning, Nana.
Morning.
Now, imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo season is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through the QR code or merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 CDs weekly. And of course, other amazing prizes. Merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are we doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay and more points and win big this Momo season. Visit momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh for your Momo for Business account today. It's Momo season, so just Momo it with Momo Pay. Terms and conditions apply. And are you looking for that toothpaste that will take care of all the family and save money? The recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste, approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step up by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gums from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And the pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging irrespective of your age, but worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon or just call them on 0200-535-515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solution in easy vertical movement. Okay. So we come back here. And Sammy?
Hi, Doc.
Yes, last Friday.
I wasn't here last Friday.
Yes. And I also couldn't make it.
Yes.
I also couldn't make it.
I was here with Dr. Kisi.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I was going to ask you about your sword cutting, but I'm sure that we're probably out of time. Opposition cutting sword for a government project.
Yeah. It's called satire.
No,
I mean, you want to satirically make the point on an important day, the day the president assured God, Parliament, and the nation that he will be commissioning his priority of priorities project. Over 400.
But you didn't want the thing constructed, so why will you go and commission it?
He's commissioning it for the president.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called satire.
No, it's not called satire. It's called mock.
So maybe Mokaya.
So you're combining mock and satire.
Anyway.
But you see, even though we laugh, Doc, I mean, this project, that pit we were standing by, $58 million.
But I understand you are not allowed to go and stand by them.
Yes, I mean, which was another.
So you are standing.
Needless.
So you are standing on the street.
But we pushed them beyond where they.
So you went. To
yes, we went. We told them.
I saw you standing on the street.
That was in front of the.
So you're not standing by.
So where is this?
This is right at the entrance to the cathedral.
So this is on the street.
The world's most expensive pit.
And you mounted a tape.
Yes. I have to commend the young men, Nicholas and Co, who put this together.
They even have balloons.
They volunteered. Great job. I mean, we want to emphasize, and we presented a 13-point demand.
So the balloons, were they financed through the 1p share of the common fund.
It's the young men did it for us.
For free?
For free. You know, when they saw the flyer that we will be there, they decided to give us some young...
Who's the lady in the Ghana Cup?
That is the Honorable Jifa Blagamashi, Ketu South.
My sister.
Ketu South. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, very, very strong.
I had hoped that she was going to be the running mate too.
Have you seen? Have you seen? As he's speaking, have you seen?
So, Doc, let me
yes.
use this to remind.
Nana, have you seen this?
Remind.
3 NPP mothers. Mothers. Why mothers?
I don't know. Mothers in court.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
we can talk about
it. Join running mates list.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yes, I mean.
That's going to give the men some tough competition, you know. But back to the point I was making. So $58.1 million, and yet on the 14th of March 2022, the company Rebade JV, responsible for the construction, wrote to their workers asking them to go home for lack of payment. More than 2 years ago. Now,
but you had stopped the payment, so you should expect that.
No. You know what was happening?
No.
It has now emerged, thanks to the documents that we demanded during the vote of censure committee, that the monies were not going into the project, into the core mandate.
But they're going to what?
As we speak, David Ajayi is in possession of our $19.6 million out of that $58 million. David Ajayi alone.
But that's part of the project.
Then you have Kari Sames, who is in possession of our $6 million.
That's also part of the project.
How can that be part of the project? Now, Kari Sames claims that he is a fundraiser. He has international networks. He raises funds for these biblical projects. Now, what happens in terms of standard practice is that you raise the funds and then you are given a percentage, a commission, after you have raised the funds. It is only in the case of Ghana that he was given money ahead to go look for money. Now here we are, the man who was given $6 million to go raise funds for us has raised nothing, and we've lost $6 million.
Are you saying that we gave him $6 million to
yes,
go raise
to
money?
go and raise funds, yes.
I thought that...
He presented himself as the CEO of the Nehemiah Group. And if you go on the Cathedral website, he's described as a consultant.
That's what you went to America.
Yes, he's the one I chased in America and found out that he's just selling coffee at some ramshackled warehouse. So every aspect of this project is so scandalous. You know, then there's a 2.5,
I mean, we gave him $6 million.
Yes.
We paid him.
Yes, yes.
To do what?
Upfront. To go and raise funds for us.
How?
Incredible. Incredible.
But let me ask you, these things that you are saying is serious. But where's the proof?
Oh, it's over here. It's over here. These are documents submitted to Parliament.
Now, there's an inquiry in Parliament, or
it hasn't commenced.
No, why?
Your colleagues are stifling it. They haven't presented the names, so we've
the
debated
names of their reps,
so that we start sitting. Yes, because we submitted a motion, the Speaker declared it competent, we debated it, the House passed a resolution. So we, after the resolution, Speaker asked for the names. We have submitted our 4 names. They were to submit their names 6 months ago.
When did you submit yours?
Oh, immediately. That's a
So
day.
6 months ago?
6 months ago.
And the speaker is sitting down watching them.
He issued a final warning, I think, a couple of weeks ago when we raised
After 6 months?
Yeah.
The majority has not submitted the list of
That was the day I put out that there have been about 700 referrals, to committees and ad hoc committees, which the House is not taking action on.
And the Speaker, are you saying that 5 months after the Speaker asked for a committee to be set up, committee has not been set up? And the Speaker Bagbin?
Yeah,
And where's Samuel's money?
So this is the Nehemiah Group.
That's the Samuel's.
Yes. So you see.
Consultancy services. 28 million.
28.2 million.
Are these payments or budgets?
Payments.
Where's the payment?
Payments. Fundraising. This is from the National Cathedral Secretariat.
Okay, so
documents they submitted.
Fundraising, U.S. fundraising.
Yes.
They hope to raise what is 794,000?
Sami, Nana, that's Sami.
That's
Sami
Sami.
and him.
Yeah. No, we
Yes.
know we were here. Yeah. But I'm saying, you mean the money's been paid?
It's been paid to him. Yes.
Before he raises the money.
Yes, before he raises the fund.
But where is it here?
That's the payment made.
No. What?
So we asked
what
them.
Heading is
We asked them.
Is it payments or?
Yes, payments.
Budgets?
You see, we asked them fund accounting of seed money as at 31st May 2022. We asked that all the monies they have received, the $58 million, they should tell us how they've spent that money. And this is the breakdown they gave us. And this is how we discovered that Carrie Summers has been given at the time $6 million. And you have Ken Ofori-Atta during the vote of Central Committee. This is the document he submitted. He gave us a blow-by-blow account of the releases, which, by the way, which by all intents and purposes, unconstitutional, because he didn't have parliamentary approval to carry out those releases. A clear violation of the Constitution. So he says on 7 June 2019, he released 445,000 Ghana cedis. That was $89,000 at the time. Description, payment of advance mobilization for consultant working on the design of the National Cathedral. Then 5th March 2021, he released another 80.5 million Ghana cedis to David Ajayi. Then 10 February 2021, another 32 million Ghana cedis released to David Ajayi for consultancy services of the design. Yes. So at the time, the exchange rate, the 58.1 million, works out to 339 million Ghana cedis. Out of that, David Ajayi alone was given 113 million. It's about 40%, which doesn't happen if you talk to the industry experts. Then on the 29th of October 2021, Ken Ofori-Atta released another 142.7 million, this time to the National Cathedral Secretariat. So that's what they were accounting for when we asked for the breakdown. 19th August 2021, another 58.2 million. 31st March 2022, another 25 million Ghana cedis released to the National Cathedral Secretariat. So you have a total of 339 million so far. And yet, what we see is just a bit. And that is why when Bishop Dag Heward-Mills was resigning, at the time they had spent $30 million, he said that, look, it cannot sit well with his conscience that over $30 million spent and all he sees is a pit. That the money is being released, albeit unconstitutionally, it's not going into really what they say they want to do with those funds. So here we are, we have spent $58.1 million and there's nothing to show for it. The last time, government was telling us in Parliament that if they got 56 million euros, they can put up a modern edifice in terms of a hospital for the people of La, after demolishing their hospital many years ago. So less than this.
I think that this project is going on.
You know, less than
for
this.
The people of La.
Yeah. So, and they are going to be spending.
You live there. You've seen the project.
They will be spending. I haven't seen it, but if you say it has said, you know, but less than $58 million, and we would have a fully equipped modern hospital. So just think about what $58 million can do. And you see, this $58 million, Doc, when you do a comprehensive analysis, it is not all we have lost. Remember that there have been massive demolitions. The Judicial Training Institute was demolished. Mm-hmm. The Judicial Service, Chief Justice and her team, and indeed, this was put together by former Chief Justice Eni Yeboah. The costing they have done to replace the Judicial Training Institute is $50 million. I have a copy. $50 million, that's what they need to replace the Judicial Training Institute. Then judges' bungalows for more than 20 judges were demolished. In the process, we all know now that Justice Said was so upset, he resigned. Justice Said had been awarded by the Ghana Bar Association as one of the most upright judges. No nonsense, incorruptible. he asked for just a few days because the wife was recuperating after surgery. They said, no, I mean, God must come and live in Accra. The president has a vision. So these judges were just hurried out of the place. Now, these judges, we have spent money in two folds. One, to house them temporarily, and then secondly, to construct new bungalows for them. That is out of the $58 million. Then you also must bear in mind that the passport head office was demolished. We have spent more than 10 million cedis for the replacement near GIG, where the new passport office is. Money that could have been spent on other important considerations. This is a country where children are still schooling under trees. You have hospitals without dialysis machines, without incubators. People are delivering, mothers are delivering on bare floor. Imagine what 10 million cedis can do. That is not all. The scholarship secretariat has been demolished. They are waiting for their compensation. Remember also that as we speak, the Malian ambassador is waiting for his compensation. The Malian ambassador's residence was demolished. Then there is Comsys IT firm. Their headquarters was also demolished. They have been presented some land in the Labone enclave. How much is that costing the taxpayer? We have not really been apprised. Then you have Waterstone Realty apartment complex, the luxury apartment building that was in that location, also demolished. As we speak, Waterstone Realty is at the High Court. They are demanding in excess of $5 million compensation because apparently the building they were offered as compensation when they tried to take possession for over a year. National security operatives are living there and refusing to move. Same government. They say they will not take orders from the minister, from the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. So the company has gone to court. So look at the level of distraction. A country with a huge infrastructure deficit. And you wonder, this project, couldn't we have been forthright? Why begin by telling us that it's going to be a private initiative? You are not going to use taxpayer funds. Even when a suspicious Ghanaian, James Kwabena Bonfe, aka Kabila, went to the Supreme Court and said that, look, this project will open the floodgates. Very soon, Muslims will ask for a national mosque because what they have at Kawukudi, it's not built by the taxpayer, the Ghanaian taxpayer. What they have is a donation from Turkey, a Turkish foundation. So they will have every right, because they also pay taxes, to demand a proper national mosque. James Kwabena Bonfe further argued that the traditionalists will soon also demand a national shrine. And so he is praying the Supreme Court that being a secular nation, the fact that we all pay taxes, whether you're a traditionalist, Muslim, whatever, it's not fair to collect all these taxes and use it for only one religion. The Attorney General came to the Supreme Court in his response and said that, look, these fears are unfounded. Public funds are not going to go into this project. So the deception, to the extent that, look, these venerable clergymen we hold in high esteem, they were even deceived. You recall the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams had to put out a public statement that they have been assured by the president that public funds will not be used. So the public criticism should pipe down. People should stop the attack on the project, that they are not going to use public funds. They have been assured. Only to start intercepting documents on our blind side, without parliamentary approval. Ken Ofori-Atta, basically withdrawing public funds. So look, what would have been wrong if the president from the outset told us that, look, I've had this vision with my God. I I think that it is time for this country to have a national cathedral. Can we have a national discussion? How much should we put into this project? What should be the scope? Because remember, a lot of these clergymen who have resigned, from Pastor Otabil, Bishop Dakeward Mills, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams to Reverend Isud Anaba, they have all said that, look, if you rescope this project, they can do it for less. They have built magnificent churches across the country for far less. If the president had come clean, because you see, we all know as Christians that there are high Christian standards of integrity, of truthfulness. As Paul said, you know, Paul's admonition to us, whatever is pure, whatever is of a good report. You know, if there is any project which we must approach with high Christian standards of integrity, incorruptibility, righteousness, purity, it is this project. But it was started based on deception, private initiative, a personal pledge to God. I told God, if he makes me president, I'll do this in his honor. I won't use public funds. Only for us to discover that apparently the whole project is anchored on public funds. Then, after engaging in that grand deception, you will not even use the funds properly. You also recall, Doc, that when we intercepted these documents and saw what was going on, that this project apparently is a government project. On the 4th of July, I raised an RTI request to the Public Procurement Authority, whether they are aware of this project, what was the procurement method, was it sole source, single source, was it competitive? To my shock, the PPA responded on the 5th of July 2022. And I'll read it. Very short response. Application to access information procurement approval relating to the construction of the National Cathedral by ABBEY Company Limited. Reference is made to your letter dated 4th July 2022 on the subject above. Please be informed that the Public Procurement Authority holds no information relating to the construction of the National Cathedral by ABBEY Company Limited. You may wish to refer your inquiry to the National Cathedral Secretariat. And this is signed by Frank Mante, the Chief Executive. Shocking. So, a $450 million project being funded by our taxes, no procurement approval, no recourse to the procurement law. We say we are building for God.
What has happened to the audit? You know, you remember?
Yes, fantastic.
The Archbishop and Reverend Anaba and others, they issued a statement.
Yes.
And asked for an audit and all that,
yes,
before they stepped off.
Yes.
And we were told there was this long response from the Secretariat.
Yes.
And then we were told that one of the top 3 had been appointed.
Yeah, Deloitte.
This was last year.
Yes.
What has happened to that audit? 24th
January 2023 is when, in response to that memo from the 2 eminent clergy, the Archbishop Duncan Williams and Reverend Isud Anaba, saying that, look, there's so many scandals about this project. We are hearing things that we are so shocked. Let's have an audit. Let's pause and have an audit. The memo, as you do know, was leaked. That compelled the National Cathedral Board of Trustees. It was signed by the chairman, Professor Opoko-Nyina, assuring the nation that they will now carry out the audit. They have written to Deloitte to come audit them. It's been more than a year. So it's one of the 13 demands we made when we went to carry out that satirical commissioning. That it's been more than a year. Where is the audit? If you read the 24th January statement from the Board of Trustees, they assured the country that they will publish the audit because they believe they have nothing to hide. We have been asking. What we have picked up is that the audit is so damning. And the last time, Bright Simmons from Imani said that he has also, from his sources, and you know he's quite good at gleaning information from direct sources. He says that what he has seen is so damning that he is not surprised that they are not putting it out. But you see, they must keep to their word. You assured the nation. It's been more than a year. Since 24th January 2023, you told us that you're inviting Deloitte to audit. You will publish the audit. Why are they sitting on the audit report? So every aspect of this project, everything about it, you know, including how is it that after all of these huge, colossal, staggering amounts of money, all we see is a pit.
So
and
now in moving forward,
and then in moving forward, you see,
people thought that at least the parliamentary inquiry,
yes,
will shed some light, bring some sun, further sunshine,
yeah,
and then lead us to, you know, obviously there are recommendations that will lead us to a conclusion on the matter.
Yes,
so where do we go from?
Look, I think that after the Speaker's last warning, if our colleagues refuse to send their names, the MPs who should serve on the committee, nothing in our standing orders and the Constitution of Ghana stops a one-sided committee from going ahead to work. If you recall, there's a tremendous precedent about this. If you recall, in 2013, when the MPP lost the elections to President Mahama and went to the Supreme Court, they said that they didn't want to give President Mahama legitimacy. So any business that President Mahama brings to Parliament, they won't partake. So in the vetting of President Mahama's ministerial nominees, the MPP boycotted. You recall, I was then a member of the Appointments Committee. Nothing stopped the committee at the time from going ahead, presenting a report, and the House voting on it, even though the MPP boycotted all of those processes. And the ministers had legitimacy, they carried out their mandate. So I hope that the Speaker will crack the whip, and that if the majority leadership continues to stonewall, he will just instruct that we go ahead and carry out the parliamentary inquiry. Because you see, Doc, what frightens me is that, are you aware that as long as this contract has not been abrogated, has not been terminated, Ghana is incurring losses? Because if you look at the terms of the contract that we have signed, it says that when you suspend works, throughout the period of suspending work, you pay for it. It's called the standing time claims for the main contractor. It's in the contract. Extension of time claims and cost implications, you pay. As you fail to meet your timelines that you commissioned this on the 6th of March 2024, this year, all that period of extension, if you look at the contract, we are going to pay for that. Finance charges on unpaid amounts to the main contractor. So the contractor says we owe him. All the illegal releases were not coming to him. We are going to pay a compound interest for that. Then abortive and reworks costs due to the main contractor suspension. It's all in the contract. So this contract...
And who signed this contract?
The trustees. The trustees. Opoko Nina, Reverend Joyce Aye, and then Reverend Kusi Boateng. At the time, he used one of his names to sign.
So they signed this one?
They signed the contract.
I hope they read it.
I hope so. I hope so. So it's a very, very horrible contract. So costly. And you can imagine all of these 2 years that no work is going on. That's why the contractors, they are not complaining. You know, they have a great contract. They are making money every day whilst nothing is happening on the site. That is why we are so worried. People think that this is just the usual politics. It's not. It's about protecting the public purse. It's about hundreds of millions of Ghana citizens going to waste.
Let me ask a question.
Yes.
Who will the contractors make these claims On?
The government of Ghana. If you look at the incorporation documents, you know, initially we kept asking, what is this project? What is, because you say private initiative. Later on, they went to incorporate it and then put the museum's board, aligned with them, put the CEO on the board and say that this is now a public project. Okay. So it's the taxpayer, the government of Ghana, is going to be responsible for all of these payments. That's what they have done.
All right. Okay. So, Nana, let me come to you quickly. I've been doing some digging as he was speaking. You know, Nana? And I've come across this story, which was published by Asasi Radio. Okay. And it says, contrary to claims by two renowned and respected clergymen, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams and Reverend Isudanaba, that their request for an audit of the public funds contributed to the National Cathedral projects has not been heeded. Evidence seen by Asasi News appears to show that the National Cathedral of Ghana, NCG, contracted Deloitte & Touche, a globally acclaimed and chartered accounting firm, to audit the National Cathedral Ghana's entire accounts, check the date, on 17th of March 2023. So Sunday will be exactly 1 year. Sunday will be exactly 1 year. Now it says engagement correspondence from Deloitte & Touche, the executive director of the National Cathedral of the Ghana Secretariat, has been cited by Asasi News. It is signed by Charlotte Forsin ABBEY, the engagement partner, and dated 17 March 2023, and discloses the scope of the audit request from the National Cathedral. Quote, you have requested that we audit the financial statements of the National Cathedral of Ghana, which comprise the statement of financial position as of 31st December 2020 to 2023, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flow for the year. Then ended in a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes. We are pleased to confirm our acceptance and understanding of this engagement by means of this letter. Our audit to be conducted with the objective of expressing an opinion on the financial statements. Charlotte Forsin ABBEY will be responsible for the services that we perform for the company, and Isaac Odwe will be the audit manager. The 24-page letter from Deloitte & Touche to the NCG said, it says we'll conduct our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Those standards require that we comply with ethical requirements and plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. The letter from the international firm further says. So this actually confirms that this thing was done, the appointment of the auditors and the acceptance, 17th of March 2023. And like I said, Sunday will be exactly 1 year.
Actually, on this table, I remember the information that an audit company has been appointed and the auditing. You must have been here.
Yes.
So that was where I was going to start from, the audit and the parliament. Because there's been a lot of claims and charges that have been made by Okujeto and other people. And sometimes you don't know what the actual truth is. The amount of monies, public funds that have been spent. They said some money went through the vote on contingency vote on account. You know, the amount of money spent. I think the financials have made some statements in Parliament about the amount of money. You have also made statements about how the monies were not properly spent.
Yeah, and first not approved by Parliament to be spent.
The approval by Parliament, you said he went through some vote on...
he's saying that he used a contingency vote. You know, he created a contingency vote.
Which technically should... And doesn't need parliamentary approval.
Yeah, but it's public funds. So we are challenging that. We are challenging that.
So at the moment it's a challenge?
Yes, because you can't use public funds in this country, the constitution is clear, without parliamentary approval. So now no matter how you try to call it.
Fine. Now it is a challenge, that's what I'm saying. So that's the claim you are making. Whether it is valid or not is another matter. But I'm saying that there have been various claims and charges and accusations that have been made by Okujeto and other people, but mainly by Okujeto, which is good work that he's doing to seek accountability. There shouldn't be a problem with that. But we need to get to the bottom of it. And to get to the bottom of it, not even the government not even a response from the trustees or even government. You have to get to the bottom of it by an independent inquiry. So I was happy when we were informed that a reputable company has been contracted to do the auditing. It's unfortunate that it's almost 1 year and we don't seem to know what the results of the auditing is. And that is unfortunate. And then Samuel Kujato is also claiming that Parliament's inquiry
is being stalled.
Has been stalled because one side of Parliament has failed to nominate members into a committee to do the investigation, a committee set up by the Speaker. I find that a bit difficult to believe that 6 months after the Speaker ordered that a committee be set up, the Speaker has looked on and that committee has not been set up. If that really is the truth, I mean, the last time we were talking about Parliament and how the stick that Parliament wields, if that is true, that buttresses my point. Mm-hmm. That where you have a Speaker from the opposition and gives Parliament a better tool in terms of the oversight function, in terms of the accountability function, and you still get dogged down like this, then what is the point of all of that?
But what can the Speaker do? What can the Speaker do?
What can the Speaker not do? You yourself, you've mentioned.
He's cautioned them, he's asked for the names.
By the standing orders, by the standing orders, if the Speaker gives such a directive, and the directive is not adhered to by one side, is he incapacitated from doing anything?
He cannot go ahead and select the...
So what happens? It means that he dies?
Unless he probably refers maybe the leadership to the Privileges Committee and then another committee inquiry to look at whether they have misconducted themselves in Parliament. And that's the
but knowing the Speaker, and how he has run things in the House, if he really, and I'm not suggesting that he doesn't have an interest, but if this is really something that he found extremely important, and he found the posture of the
I think
majority,
he does, because this was the committee
he would forcefully
that he announced. Remember, he announced that he wants to even do something novel, that he will invite some experts to join MPs to serve on the committee. It's never happened, and he says he was. So, he showed.
But I'm saying, the initial 1 year. But I'm saying that if he's given a directive, knowing the Speaker and how he has carried himself as Speaker, I would find it, like Nana is saying, I find it a bit,
he issued
interesting.
He issued the last warning, I think about 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, because we raised it, the minority leader raised it, that look, this stalling cannot continue. And the minority leader said, he was speaking on a Friday, that look, if by Monday next week we don't get the names, we will move that we want to have a one-sided probe, And the Speaker said, look, let me just issue a last warning to them. So minority leader, calm down. I mean, these are public proceedings.
I mean, so really, like I'm saying, all of us want to get, you and myself, we are, we just want to see accountability, and we have a Parliament. And Parliament has been seized of the matter. The trustees said they've set up an audit. That one too, we haven't seen the results of the audit, which is also a concern, and to which some query should be done. But Parliament itself, that has the constitutional authority to oversee public funds, the use of public funds. And Parliament seems not capable of investigating the use of public funds in this matter of the cathedral. And 6 months down the line, we're told that warnings are being issued. Now, what even stopped the Speaker? This business of setting up ad hoc committees, I don't understand it. Parliament has how many committees? Over 20? 25 committees of Parliament? The Public Accounts Committee is sitting there, isn't it? And the name of the committee is Public Accounts.
Unfortunately, under our standing orders, before Public Accounts Committee can go into this matter, they must rely on an audit report from the Auditor General. They cannot on their own. So the Auditor General hasn't audited the National Cathedral. So it makes it difficult for them.
Per the standing
orders.
They can only go into what?
Yeah. Audited accounts. Yes.
By the Auditor
By the Auditor
So
General.
even the audit by Deloitte, they cannot?
No, they cannot. Okay. It has to come from the Auditor General of Ghana.
But on their own, they can't investigate the use of public funds? They can't call for documents?
No.
Really?
No.
Unless he emanates from the audited accounts?
From the Auditor General.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
So all the investigative committees that have happened in Parliament were ad hoc committees?
Yes, they were ad hoc committees.
Or sometimes joint committees.
Or unless it's a matter that is fully within the domain of an existing committee, say health committee or education committee, and the speaker refers it to the committee, then they can inquire into the matter. But
this is a matter that has public access.
Yeah, but this matter is multi-sectorial. You understand? And initially, it was even under the presidency. It was recently that it was put under the Ministry of Tourism.
So, Randy, my point is that there have been so many public discussions about these cathedrals, particularly the expenditure, the amounts voted, the amount spent. Because even what you showed me, can I say it again?
Yeah.
About Carrie Summers.
Carrie Summers, yeah.
You know, if you look at this, it says on the page that you showed me that the Nehemiah Group, they got paid 28 million. But there's another item called U.S. fundraising. That's also 794. What is that one?
794,000 cedis. You know, this was the event President Akufo-Addo attended.
That's the money they raised.
And where he said that this is his priority of priorities.
So that's the amount they raised.
And yes.
And that's the money they blew the same amount at Kempiski.
At Kempiski on the Bible symposium when they returned.
When they returned, how did they do it? They went to Kempiski.
Yeah, they went to Kempiski.
Which people? The trustees?
The expenditure of the Kempiski event was almost same as this one.
So anyway, so that shows that
they didn't put it in the project.
That shows that there has to be proper inquiry as to the monies that have been spent.
But Nana, do we know? Do we the way we act?
Yeah.
Do we act like people who appreciate our financial position? It looks like the way we blow money.
The governments of Ghana, government after government, can be demonstrated to have shown insensitivity to the basic problems that confront us in some of the spendings that they've done. Government after government. And if we have time, I can cite all kinds of expenditures since 1993 that clearly is not justified in the eyes of the common man. Yeah, I mean, if I'm sure you know, we can cite so many expenditures that have been done. And it's shocking because we are politicians. And when you are a politician, the basic criteria or qualification for being a politician is that you are seized with public service. That is it. I mean, you should have a desire in you to do public service. When I'm driving by the roadside and I see a best pipe, I will stop and find out which area is that and see if I can call it this. Is that what motivates me into politics? Other people will see it and they will moan in their head. What is all this water going astray? And I assume that all of us politicians, we take the trouble to get into politics. And getting into politics is not an easy, it's not a walk in the park. We take that trouble because we have a desire to do public service. So when we then get into political office or public office and you look at some of the expenditures, you know, you wonder, it's happening today. Is beyond this cathedral, I'm sure there are other expenditures that you can cite.
Just this morning, on my way here, I was listening to the sports program on Original FM this morning, and we were talking about the All Africa Games. And the key issues that came up really was about some of the figures that they had about how much we spent on the infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, for example, the Boteman project, we were told that it was going to cost 200 million.
Yeah.
And that project included
Cedis or dollars?
200 million US dollars. That's what we were told.
Yeah.
And that project included a 50,000 capacity stadium, Olympic stadium, 50,000 capacity for football as part of the project with all the other facilities. Then we're told that, because of the exigencies of time, the 50,000 capacity stadium has been taken out of the project so that we'll be able to then finish it. So many other things which should have been part of that stadium has been taken out. Now, we're told that we've spent $145 million on the project minus this 50,000 capacity Olympic stadium.
How much is that one going to cost? $50,000.
No, I'm saying that we're told that including this one, we're going to spend 200 million. Yeah. We're told that that was going to delay later on.
So we take out the stadium.
So we take out the 50,000 capacity, a kind of stadium that Ghana doesn't have. We've never had. Yeah.
But, it is a distraction.
So we take it out.
1 second, this is a distraction. But if you don't construct where are the events going to be had? I thought it's a stadium.
Yes.
The athletics
so,
and the field.
So the stadium has different components. So one of the components is a football, a 50,000 seater.
So what is at Boteman?
So Boteman has all other an aquatic center, place for handball, athletics, other sporting activities.
Athletics, running tracks.
I should think so.
Then there has to be a field.
So I'm saying that the 50,000 capacity stadium was taken out of the project. So there was a rescoping.
The rescoping, yeah.
Because the thing was that, this one was going to delay. We would not be able to meet the schedule.
Okay.
So the 50,000 capacity stadium is taken out of the project. But we're told the project cost us 145 million, minus the 50,000 capacity stadium.
So this one's going to be about 60 million.
Well, that's what we're
to bring up
That's what we're told. Then there's the Legon Stadium, which was 60% complete. Now we're told that we've spent $35 million to complete it. The 10,000 is a 10,000 capacity place. We've spent 35 million. Then there are 4 existing halls at Legon. Existing halls or residents at Legon. And we're told that we have refurbished them. We've turned 4 per room to a 2 per room. We fixed ACs, changed beds and bed sheets and all that. And then we fixed 2 tents. One as an infirmary or a clinic, and then one for catering purposes. 2 tents, temporary tents. And that cost us $16 million.
Yeah.
60 million US. And that was a discussion this morning on the sports program.
What was the point of the discussion?
The point, they found it.
Yeah.
They found it, the figures ridiculous. It didn't make sense to them.
As for figures, you and I know, it has to be subjected to an audit.
So they kept asking, did Parliament approve all of this?
No, but even if Parliament, rather you and I know, that as for cost of projects, we being laymen, we can only conjecture.
You're right.
It is a proper audit.
You're right.
That can establish a. I thought they were going to talk about, when you started, I thought they were going to talk about the decision to invest that money in the games, which is also public funds. But that's a different matter. Like, do we in this? So what are the benefits against the?
That was also one of the issues they raised.
But as for the cost,
but they were raising the cost with respect to earlier figures that they had heard about what we needed to complete the project and what was eventually used to complete the project and all those things.
When we are in opposition, you accuse government of, and the government always,
Interestingly, these are not politicians.
It is the audit that can establish.
Related to this. We were also shocked in Parliament. Yesterday the Works and Housing Minister finally came to respond to my question on why Saglemi. Remember, you've been asking me to push for the government to respond to that question. Why Saglemi was not offered to the displaced victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. The minister revealed, and we're all shocked, that the Saglemi project, if they are to, he says what is left is the provision of water, a sewage system, and then electricity, these 3 items. And he told us that what they need to carry out these 3 items is $140 million.
114.
114. We were shocked.
Million US dollars.
Yes, US dollars. Yes, to complete Saglemi. Meanwhile, Saglemi cost $196 million.
Okay.
For the entire project you see there. Okay. And they are saying that even that we didn't get value for money. So Collins Dowder and co are in court. Because they are saying that they were expecting that we will have gotten about 5,000 units for that amount of money. So $196 million to be over 95% complete as they put it. And for just to provide water, electricity, utilities, $140 million. So I agree with Doc that sometimes we just mention figures.
But what is the basis of these figures? The
140 million. Yeah, he said that's what they need.
I'm sure if you ask for a breakdown.
But I'm sure these figures came from
the technical
people and so on. And it will be subject to audit.
140
The Saglemi thing, and all of us were worried about it, that we are going to spend 200 million to complete 5,000 flats of different capacities. But 5,000 units, we're going to spend 200 million. It turns out that the contract that has been approved by Parliament, people at the ministry, with the minister and his directors or whatever, change the contracts.
But let's just be a bit careful because it's a matter in court.
But these are the matters in court. This is the issue in court. I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying this is the matter in court. So the court matter is saying that people at the ministry change the contracts.
So the prosecution is
they change the contracts and with reduce the number from 5,000 to 2,000 and still spend the 200 million. And so how did that 5,000 become 2,000? And we still spend the same. And how was the contract changed? So those are the matters.
And you are you aware that Honorable Atachi also came to continue the payments? He also authorized some payments. Are you aware?
Let's leave those
two. So I'm saying that we have to have a proper audit into this cathedral so that Samuel Kujeto is raising very major issues. The trustees too are raising issues.
People are resigning.
People are resigning, also raising issues. The public interest will be served if a proper investigation is done. Then Okujeto would have the chance to go and present the documents. The trustees will come, including those who have resigned, so we can see our way forward. Of course, you can always argue that in our current economic or financial situation, we could easily have avoided this payment. That is an argument that you can make, and that will depend on your... I believe that the cathedral project is a good idea, that we get a good place where major national events can be carried out. You know, when we had a funeral for Kofi Annan, remember? They came for buses they haven't paid up to today, but that's a different matter. But the event was held at the conference center, which was most suitable. And when you go to a lot of these countries, they have these monuments that are there for major national events.
You those who argue this way. So are you saying we need a national event center? Or we need a national cathedral?
No.
They are two different things.
No, not that. Well, many of these countries, they have cathedrals. When you go to England, they have the St. Paul's Cathedral. In America, they have...
For religious activities. And
but
they have
I'm saying some
a national theater
some of these
national
things,
dome for
some of
national
these
events.
Things, they took a long time. It would seem that we were
Russian.
quite in a rush to complete it within a certain... because I'm sure St. Paul's Cathedral took over, many years.
Oh, yeah.
And the
more than 50 years.
Notre Dame,
more than 80 years,
even the Vatican and so on. I would have wished that, given the demonstrated ability of the major Christian leaders, they would even feel it as an honor if they were put together and given the mandate to build. Because on their own, on their own, just the individuals, what they've put up,
they should just have been allowed.
Some of them are bigger than the. I mean, look at what has 2 days ago. I was at your place 2 days ago. Yeah, there was a workshop, and we went there. Spent a lot of money.
You mean
sponsored?
Pediatric Valley Resort?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I saw the Anakazo.
Yeah.
The Anakazo is like 4 times.
Yeah, magnificent.
4 times bigger than this space for the National Cathedral and so on. And all of them have demonstrated an ability to raise money, to put up huge spiritual money.
Sadly, when you read Bishop Dye's resignation letter, he said that they were told that they don't have a say on the choice of an architect, the choice of location, that the president has his architect, has his design.
The location has been, is already there.
I mean, so that's why they felt
but
that
you also read the response from...
That there was a board somewhere.
You heard the response of Professor Onyina
on
that one.
A cabal somewhere taking the real decision.
What did he say?
Is that people should also... in reference to this one, it's like the fact that you have an opinion and the opinion
is not
carried does not mean that
you're right.
But you see, legally, there are serious implications when you have a board of trustees and how they can be held.
And I'm also surprised that Samuel Kujeto is saying that the contract was signed by the board of trustees.
Yes.
So how does that commit the country?
Yeah, because
all these are
because
issues.
of how it was incorporated.
How the project has been incorporated.
How it's been incorporated.
So ultimately,
it's now National Cathedral of Ghana.
It is a Ghana thing.
Yeah.
All of these issues have to be canvassed before.
That's why I asked, because otherwise, then the contractors will have to go and look for Madame Joyce Ayi and Professor Onyina and Reverend Kusibuati and take the money from them. Because I've just been told that as of 3 months ago, the contractors believe that they were owed in excess of $70 million.
Yes.
Just 3 months ago.
Yes. They are what the
Ribade. It's a joint venture of Rizani the Eka, Babisoti, and Disimoni.
As of three months ago, they are records. They believe that they're owed over $70 million.
And it's going up. It's still going up because of the nature of the contract. Every day we are incurring costs.
Is that
every day?
That's what the contract says.
That's what the contract says. Every day.
Every day they should.
Yes.
For what?
Re-abortive works, suspension, claims.
That if the work is suspended and it is not because
of theirs.
Yes.
And
that's
what
the
contract that is signed by the trustees.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm saying we should spend a lot of, all that we can do to get this investigation going. Yeah. Whether at the parliament level or at in fact, the parliament investigation should go on. Yeah. Because that's a national one.
It's crucial.
The auditing one, that has been set up by the Board of Trustees. So
they should publish that.
And that one too has taken 1 year.
Yes.
It's in the interest of the Board of Trustees themselves.
To publish it.
That instead of talking at Samuel Kujeto and other people, it's in their interest that a proper audit is conducted. It's in their own interest. Because now there's a certain cloud of suspicion because of all the issues that have arisen. And the best way to clear the cloud is to ensure that the audit goes on. So I'm surprised that 1 year after they set up an audit, we don't know what the audit has found. And then, but why blame them? 6 months after the national parliament.
People we voted.
So talking about parliament,
they too. They say their issue. So now we end up in a situation where they say the speaker is issuing warnings.
So I want us to see what the standing order says about the Public Accounts Committee. Order 2293 says that pursuant to Article 187(2) and 5 of the Constitution, the Public Accounts Committee shall examine the public accounts of Ghana, showing the appropriation and utilization of the sums granted by Parliament to meet the public expenditure of the government and other accounts laid before Parliament. So if you come to Article 187(2), and Article 187 deals with the Auditor General, 187(2) says the public accounts of Ghana and all public offices, including the courts, the central and local government administrations of the universities and public institutions of like nature, of any public corporation or other body or organization established by an act of parliament shall be audited and reported on by the Auditor General. Then 5 provides that the Auditor General shall, within 6 months after the end of the immediately preceding financial year, to which each of the accounts mentioned in clause 2 of this article relates, submit his report to Parliament, and shall in that report draw attention to any irregularities in the accounts audited and to any other matter which, in his opinion, ought to be brought to the notice of Parliament. So that's the restriction. So it has to, for the Public Accounts Committee, you must. You can only convene
and the National Cathedral wasn't set up by an act of Parliament?
No,
okay.
It wasn't. So that's what restricts the Public Accounts Committee. That is why you have to rely on Order 262, which deals with ad hoc committees, that Parliament has the power to probe into any matter of national importance. So that's why the Speaker relied on an ad hoc committee. And for ad hoc committees, leadership must present the names of the committee the committee members from all sides of the House.
Now, I've read this. It's a pursuant to Article
187.
The Public Accounts Committee shall examine the public accounts of Ghana, showing the monies that have been given to government and the use of that money. I'm just trying to simplify. And the use of that money granted by Parliament. Okay. Now, you are saying that the Auditor General should audit and present it to the public accounts.
Yes.
But there's nothing here that is saying that the Public Accounts Committee on their own. But what it means is that the Public Accounts Committee can instruct the Auditor General to do some accounting.
Yes, some auditing, yes. Yes, they can.
But must that institution not be an institution as defined by
1872.
1887.
The public accounts of Ghana and of all public offices, including the courts, the central and local government administrations of the university and public institutions of like nature, of any public corporation or any other body organization established by an act of Parliament shall be audited and reported on by the Auditor General.
So the National Cathedral does not fit.
And it's perhaps why the Auditor General has stayed away from auditing.
No, but we are talking about the use of public funds.
So maybe the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Finance, which was given the public funds, that has dispensed the public funds in a particular way. That is what the Auditor General can investigate or can audit, but not to go and audit the National Cathedral. Because the National Cathedral as an institution does not fit in the institutions as described.
Under Article 187.
What does it say?
It says institution established by an act of Parliament.
Those are the only
Yes. And it mandates them under 1875 that 6 months after the financial year, they must submit their report to Parliament.
If the government or
if the
government or the ministry gives public funding to some institution that has not been established by Parliament, then Parliament is stopped.
So we can urge the Auditor General to probably audit the Finance Ministry.
The
Finance Ministry for the releases.
How it used the money.
So why don't we do that?
You can have a special audit.
You can have a special audit on that.
Because, you see, Randy, we need to take governance seriously.
I agree.
Very often, we trade charges at each other. In this instance, Samuel Kujeto and a lot of people, including even some people who are trustees, are trading charges. The trustees too are responding to charges thrown in the air. And these are monies that, like you said, can be used for so many other public purposes. We should be serious about getting to the bottom of the matter.
But you see, my issue really.
And so you have a situation where the trustees say we set up an audit. Nothing has been heard anymore. Then the Parliament to 6 months, even though the Speaker has so ordered. They haven't even met for one single day.
You see, the last time we had, when you guys went to cut the sword, I saw a report where Reverend Kusi Boateng was talking about how much more we need. That we probably need about $250 million to complete the project. But this is my issue. This is my issue. There are people who believe that we must go ahead and finish this project. Whether they are in the minority or not, for me, it's neither here nor there. But does it not occur to the trustees that with all what has gone on, there is a certain element of candor, of confidence building, of transparency that they must engender, even to get those who are on the fence
to participate,
to come on their side.
That's what I have said.
Yes, so I'm just buttressing your point. That how do you explain the fact that I have appointed an auditor, and I use the appointment of that auditor to disprove what some of my colleagues on the board of trustees have said, and then for 1 year, audit of this thing for 1 year.
At least give us.
In fact, and you indicated that it will be made public.
Yes.
For 1 year, and for government itself.
And you know when
you should be interested.
When we got the information here through the letter that an audit has been established, and for me it boosted up my confidence. And then 1 year,
I'm sure if they had made an appeal at that time, you'd have found something for them. A few bags of cement or something.
After the audit.
And talking about 1 year, it's also more than a year since my conflict of interest petition to Shraj, since 16 January.
About Shraj last year.
About
this matter?
On the Kusi Boateng Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi,
but has that matter not ended?
No, you see, they lost the first round. They raised a preliminary objection, which they lost.
Oh, you two is okay. But just leave it.
It's not okay. We must get to the bottom of the matter.
Isn't that why they came and served you some papers here?
Yes.
No, but that one, the court has dealt with it. He's a free man.
So what is Shraj supposed to do?
To make a determination of the conflict.
It's okay.
It's 2.6 million.
It's okay. It's okay.
You don't want 2.6 million.
No, I'm not saying. If the money must be returned, it will be returned after the audit. But it's okay. You've pursued the mind.
Even today, the foreign minister is coming to Parliament to respond to my question.
Which one?
It's been advertised.
Which question?
It's been advertised.
Which question?
Because, look, I agree with Nana that institutions must work. Let me read the question to you. Samuel Okujeto Abloka, Northton, to ask the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration how an individual appointed to the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral as Victor Kusi Boateng was issued a diplomatic passport in the name Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi with passport number DX006845.
We'll be back shortly.
And what the considerations for issuing the
Cathedral.
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 The National Cathedral Project.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Nana Komia and Samuel Okujeto Abloka. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I was God, the Mola, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the GamePark Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. GamePark Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority. It's not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayasuko, that Kosovo dam be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. No under 18. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink It's for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 055 001 0000. Now, gentlemen, you'd realize that from yesterday our lives have been seriously disrupted.
Yeah.
And this has to do with telecommunication services, the disruption in telecommunication services in this country. And apparently it is not just in Ghana, but it's actually across quite a number of countries, especially here in Africa. Now, we've had a lot of calls and messages from our audience, those who rely on our feed on social media, Facebook and YouTube and others, and they're wondering whether we are not on air. Now, our service has also been largely affected by this disruption, and so we apologize to all of you who are unable to get us, but this is the problem. The disruption in the telecommunication services has seriously affected us as well. Now, I want to take you through what the National Communications Authority is telling us about this issue. And then I'll show you some data on this disruption and how it has affected the respective countries. And you would see that countries are affected differently. Now, this is the second update that was provided by the NCA. Undersea cable disruptions affect data services. And it says, further to an earlier release from the National Communications Authority on the disruption to data services as a result of undersea cable cuts, the authority wishes to update the public as follows. The mobile network operators, MNO, notified the NCA of undersea cable disruptions, which have affected both mobile and fixed data communication services in the country. The disruptions affected all the current active undersea cables, namely ACE or ACE, 90% capacity lost. Main 1, about 90% capacity lost. SAT3, 100% capacity lost. WACS or WCS, 90% capacity lost. The NCA commenced investigations by contacting all the submarine cable service providers and mobile network operators to understand the nature and extent of the disruption. The NCA's investigations revealed that the disruption, which has affected international traffic into the country, occurred in multiple places. For ACE, Main 1 and WCS, the incident was in Abidjan. So when I show you the country-specific impact, you would see what has happened in Côte d'Ivoire. So to repeat that again, the NCA's investigations revealed that the disruption, which has affected international traffic into the country, occurred in multiple places. For ACE, Main 1 and WCS, the incident was in Abidjan, while for SAT3, the incident was in Portugal. Impact of the outage. As a result of the multiple undersea cable cuts, Ghana lost 1,596.6 Gbps data capacity. Update from the MNOs. As a result of the outage, the MNOs have since implemented their service continuity plans as follows. MTN, local catch-like content from the GIX and other local in-house are being used to provide minimal data services. Telcel has currently activated 20 Gbps on ACE and almost completed activation of an additional 30 Gbps to bring the total capacity to 50 Gbps. Now, note that what we have actually lost is 1,596.6. So it tells you how minimal things like 50 and others are. Okay. And it since directed the traffic to Lagos through WACS to Europe. And AT indicated that the current capacity of 19.5 Gbps available is sufficient to provide service for their customers. It's important to note that the outage is not peculiar to Ghana. Countries such as Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, and Cameroon. NCA is still monitoring the situation and working with all stakeholders and service providers to ensure restoration of full services. The NCA will update the public on any future developments. Now, these are undersea cables. Now, look at this. The data you see on your screen now.
Very small.
Yes. So I guess that if you are not closer to the screen, you might strain. Have to strain a bit in looking at it. But this is country specific. So if you see the country's location, so Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, you will see that the second table says incident and impact. You'll see that it's the only country that has severe. And for Cote d'Ivoire, there's internet outage, and they only have 4% of internet capacity. 4%. And that's how come theirs is intense, or severe, sorry. Then you move to Liberia. Liberia is high. Liberia has 17% internet capacity. Then you come to Benin. Benin is also high. They have 14% internet capacity. Then you come to Ghana. So Ghana is also high. Ghana has 25%. So we have lost 75% of our internet capacity. 75% is off. So Cote d'Ivoire, where you had 3 of the outages occurring, has only 4% left. And it is also as a result of the reliance on those infrastructure. So the higher your reliance on the infrastructure that's been affected, the higher the impact on you. And so it appears that we rely a lot on these undersea cables, the ones that have been severely affected. Yeah. And that is how come we've lost 75%. So you see that you still have some minimal data service.
On and off.
So that is the 25%. But indeed, we have lost 75%. So it goes on. Then the other countries that are, the impact is medium. That's Togo, Cameroon, Gabon, Namibia, and Niger. And there are those countries where the impact is low, like Nigeria and Lesotho. If you look at the case of South Africa, really, they still have 82% of their internet intact. And so what they're really losing at is about 18%. So Ghana has lost about 75%. What we have currently is 25%. And these are undersea cables. So this is what has happened. And these are the countries affected. And this is the severity or otherwise of how they've been affected. And these are undersea cables. Nana, I don't know what you make of this. And people have raised the issue of a level of resilience where, you know, anytime we talk about this digitalization and technological drive and things, the issue of infrastructure, yes, that's the hard stuff. Yeah. So it is something that is not part of the debate many times. But sometimes when things like this happen, then it raises the discussion up to a point. I've heard a lot of speculation on this, but I like to deal with what the data says, what the evidence is.
Which countries were not severely affected? You say Ghana lost 75.
Yes.
Cote d'Ivoire lost what?
Yes.
So Cote d'Ivoire has lost 96.
Okay.
Because even if you read the NCA's document, you would realize that 3 of the disruptions occurred in Cote d'Ivoire itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but from the story that you read,
yes,
I think this morning is fine because when I came into your studio, I'm using your studio's Wi-Fi.
Yes. So it's still working. In the 25. The 25%.
Okay. So even yesterday you were having.
Yes.
I thought you said it disrupted your services.
No, not here in the studio. You know, our internet broadcast.
Okay, but your studio here, you've had this since yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it. But it looks like the infrastructure, there's quite a few of them. You mentioned about 3. Is it possible you can repeat them?
Yes, I will.
So it will probably depend on which one because you mentioned that some 100% off. Now, if you are on that 100%, you'll be more severely affected than another place.
So you see that almost every 2 hours, MTN is issuing a statement assuring their clients
they are restoring.
They are working. They are working. It's because it appears that there are
3 strands of infrastructure. One with various degrees of destruction.
Yes.
So of course depends on which cables.
So that's it. So for ACE, 90% capacity is lost. For main 1, about 90% capacity lost. I know MTN does main one a lot. For SAT3, 100% capacity lost. For WACS, 90% capacity lost. And if you look at the issue of, so MTN, they are using some local in-house to provide minimal data service.
But it's okay. What it means is that you must be plugged in to as many of them as possible, so you can have redundancy. I mean, it's like
it depends on where your service provider is plugged into.
Okay, but I'm saying that as a general principle,
yes,
you must have redundancy.
Yes.
Like we do.
Yeah. Yes.
Many of us carry 2 phones, not because we love carrying 2 phones, but you carry 2 networks, so that if there is a problem with one, you can still have service. That's the main reason why we carry 2 phones or we have double SIMs on our phones. It's to take account of redundancy. So a country, you must plug into 2 or more.
So for ACE, Main 1 and WCS, the incident was in Abidjan. Then SAT3 was in Portugal.
So that if you are plugged into various providers of the fiber network, then you can have some redundancy. Of course, if the disruption affected all of them, then your capacity for redundancy is limited, because all of them. I mean, if MTN and Vodafone break down, you'll be carrying the phones and they'll be useless. But you are hoping that when one goes down, you can rely on the other, and that's why many of us carry. Some even have 3 numbers and so on. They will do Airtel and they will do Vodafone, they will do just for redundancy. But you know, the technology of the physical cabling can be leapfrogged with the satellite, which doesn't depend on cables. So I don't know how much costly it is, but we must then have some access to satellite for the redundancy, so that if this physical cables running under the sea, and understand there was some sabotage in Portugal.
Yes.
And people suspect that that place that has come under terrorist activity because of the war in Gaza.
Is it the
Palestine?
Houthis?
Yes, the Houthis.
The Houthis.
The Houthis. Because they've also threatened they're going to destroy underground cable and all of that. People are... But the technology is available. The satellite technology is available. That doesn't use cables. Just direct satellites in the air and bounces back in. And you know, this chap in America is supposed to be the richest man now. Is it Musk?
Elon
Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah.
He is developing satellite technology for communication. That will make these cables redundant.
The South Africans won't be happy to hear that you are calling him an American.
Did I say American?
Yes.
No. But he's not American.
It's South African.
South African.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Elon Musk is South African.
He's been there before? Because every time I hear of him, he's American.
South African.
I'm sure he's been South African.
Oh, yes. South African.
And how has he allowed himself to be appropriated by America?
Oh, it always happens. You know, they always do.
Elon is South African.
Okay, but that's nice. But he's developing technologies that is going to make this physical cabling or fiber cabling redundant. And it's going to be really disruptive, because there's a lot of fiber cabling that has been laid across the continents under the sea and very expensive. And his technology is going to disrupt, make all of that redundant. And all of us will be relying on satellite. So,
and you see, as we move, as you know, like they say, the future is here. It's here with us now.
Yeah.
So as we move a lot more with technological advancement and all that, the integrity of your infrastructure and the reliance of your infrastructure, what you rely on and all that, becomes crucial. It's even a national security issue.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine that you have lost 90% capacity on all your major your major networks? So this country, as we speak now, has lost about 75% of data capacity. I mean, that's terrible. It can disrupt.
I think today I should work from your studio here.
It can disrupt all your activities.
Yeah.
You know, even in my house yesterday, they tried to go and buy prepaid credit from for one of the units. Yeah. And they couldn't because the system was not working.
Yeah.
And so for hours, they could not access it.
Well, I mean, like you're saying, it's technology and it's trendy and you rely on it. But what it means is that it also makes you vulnerable. I mean, this digital banking that we do, it also has dangers.
That's true.
People can easily access your banking details and withdraw money from your account. Whereas if you relied on the old system where you go yourself and sign and all of that, that would be difficult. So technology comes with immense benefits, but it also comes with dangers. And every country...
I just hope that we are making the required investments in cybersecurity.
Oh, yeah.
Because the more you begin to rely on these things...
You need a security.
The more you must be very resilient.
Yeah. But even the big countries, they suffer from this.
Yes.
You know, and huge companies and corporations are always, because there are always people who are looking at your system, hackers.
That's the war now.
Trying to
break it. That's the war now. It's not the guns and the tanks. The war. That's the war now.
And all of this big fight between China and America. Today they say they are banning TikTok in America. And then the difficulties with Huawei. Huawei is such a leading provider of new technologies, like the 5G and so on. And America is resisting because they know that if they allow Huawei to dominate, there will be security implications for them. So all of we are small players. But it's important that we also get some satellite access to bypass all of this land.
Because it makes you very vulnerable. What it means is that if you come under cyber attack.
But what it means is that after this, I'm sure the NCA and the telcos will be looking seriously at the possibility of getting some satellite access that can be activated for 2, 3, maybe a week.
In fact, it must be elevated to a top national security issue.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, it's been very, very, very frustrating for all of us. And in this modern era, everything is on the internet, really. Financial services, transportation. I mean, just imagine all those who rely on Uber, on Bolt, you know, how they have been coping. Public health. There's so many health procedures these days that require, you know, the internet. So it's so visceral. Every aspect of your life is affected. And this brings to the fore the need to keep an eye on investment in infrastructure. You know, often we take it for granted and we are heavy on the applications and all the software issues and how to bring on board, you know, more services on the app side of things. But having a robust infrastructure, having a backup, a redundancy, has not really received the national attention that it requires. And as you have rightly said, this has serious national security implications. Indeed, if you look at what many cybersecurity analysts are saying these days, they claim that is how North Korea, for example, is surviving despite all the economic sanctions, that they have invested heavy, you know, in all of these cyber attacks and all of that. And,
maybe they don't even have it.
And that is how come.
No, maybe they don't have it. Let me tell you one story. A funny story. When the Americans were, there's this Somali warlord in Somalia who was killing American soldiers, and they sent their people after him, and they could never get him.
The ground troops.
Yes, they could never get him. Even Osama bin Laden, for a long time,
so difficult.
Was difficult to get him. And how was Osama bin Laden able to escape detection? They would never use phones. Everything they will send somebody. Go and send this message. Send it. Never use phones. So they stayed under the radar because the technology allows, it makes you vulnerable.
Exactly.
And what people do not know is that all the smart gadgets, the television in your room, they are all spying on you.
Oh, yes. All those gadgets.
Yeah, now they are capable of spying on you.
All of them. The smart TV, the smart watch, the smartphone.
I mean, Samsung was fined not too long ago.
But your TV.
Even your phone.
Your phone can spy on you.
Your phone there, but you're carrying it every day.
You know,
so people don't know about phones. What they don't know, they don't even know about is your television.
No, people don't know that something can be activated in your phone that can actually spy on you, send videos.
Exactly.
So it makes us vulnerable.
Even when the phone is off, you know, sometimes people think that we switched off the phone. No, I mean they will know exactly.
There's a reason why you can't take out the batteries from your phone these days.
Absolutely. You know, so I intend this morning to make an urgent application to the Speaker to invite the communications minister to give us to give us an update.
You let him finish with the program.
No, this. Don't worry. I mean, Parliament can do a lot of things at the same time. You know,
even the Speaker.
Yeah. So it's a matter that really, because we must know at what level do we have
redundancy.
The governments of all these countries affected collaborating. What have they discovered as the reason for the attacks? There are all kinds of rumors all over the place.
I just pray that people don't start getting procurement ideas with
and
this
then
disaster.
To go and do what? To go and do what?
We know what we do best.
You know, a procurement country. But
we know what we do best.
Doc, there's also the issue of we imagining what would have been the outcome if this had happened on December 7, December 8, December 9 this year. So these are not matters that we should take lightly. I mean, it can...
Dr. Waribaba has an interesting piece written on Facebook. It says,
it can
arising from the
totally
major disruption,
destabilize our country.
Arising from a major disruption of data services yesterday, which I cannot rule out cyber attack until proven otherwise. There was a former Minister of Communications, right? Okay. Says many have expressed genuine concerns about the upcoming December 7, 2024 elections. Your concerns are genuine and germane, but don't panic. This disruptive development is part of the reason we keep emphasizing the need to recruit quality human resources for the activities lined up before, during, and after voting until Mrs. Jane Mensah declares H.E. John Mahama as president. I urge you to concentrate on what lies within your control instead of thinking IT is the one and only solution to electoral problems. Let's continue to work on human resource mobilization and training across the country. And I'll add, leave the rest to us. The government of Ghana, together with local and international stakeholders, must also provide accurate and verifiable information about the causes, and causal associations that led to this data disruption, because citizens deserve to know. I must commend the NCA. I mean, 2-3 releases on this one. The details in the release, I must commend the NCA. I think, and institutions like MTN, I think that they're doing very well.
Very well. And I'll ask their counterparts in the power sector to learn from them. They should learn from the NCA. All these, games, so it's not Doomsaw, it's Doom it's Transformer, it's a temporary hitch and glip and all these things. Look, when you are transparent, you are sincere, you show respect to your clients, it's rewarding. You save yourself all of this, hanky-panky stuff. So, ECG, VRA, and others, the Ministry of Energy, they should see how the NCA has handled this.
Extremely commendable.
Because that's not the only disruption we are facing. We are also facing severe power disruptions. And yet, one side, the power actors are playing games. Even though the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament is saying that ECG is owed about $1.5 billion. And it is a financial problem. They are playing games. They don't want to be, transparent, and they don't want to be candid. How if we don't know what the problems are, how can we help you? Particularly in Parliament, how can we help you?
Somebody should file an urgent question on that our situation.
Yeah.
Or even summon the minister.
Yeah, they should tell us the truth. What is going on?
Now, this thing about CEOs and others that don't appear on the floor, and that is ministers who come on the floor. Shouldn't we take a second look at it?
No, you can appear.
There's like a CEO.
Yes, anybody
to answer,
but not at the plenary.
At committee.
What's the reason?
That's what the law says. But
the standing orders.
The standing orders. Yeah.
But the Parliament can call you to appear
before a committee.
Before the whole Parliament will be closed sitting.
Why?
That's what the law says. I don't know what was in the mind of the framers.
Yeah.
The framers said that. So even the Electoral Commission is such an important office.
Yes.
When they come to brief Parliament on the election, it has to be closed session.
Yes.
So that's the way Parliament goes. But I don't have a problem if it can be reviewed.
Yes.
On a case-by-case basis. You should say that on a case-by-case basis, Parliament can invite you.
Yeah.
You don't have the right, like a minister would have the right to go. But so we are growing, so we should review.
Two quick issues.
But let me give you good news that our new standing orders has reviewed that.
Oh, really?
So they can now appear, particularly the heads of the constitutional bodies, the EC, Shraj.
Okay.
They can appear.
Yeah, they can appear. So we are making some progress. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So two quick issues. Nana, the last time we were speaking about the running mate from your side. You told us that your flag bearer was looking at about May. Does it still stand?
Yes.
Okay. So you see that the thing keeps changing.
What keeps changing?
The issue of who are in contention, where is it going to come from?
Yeah.
Until this morning, I was with the position that they say it is Ashanti. There is too much fighting there. And so perhaps there's another thing that you should look beyond Ashanti. Now, that is where you come in as the front runner when it looks beyond.
For the non-Ashantis.
The non-Ashanti. Although we're still trying to track an Ashanti route for you.
But why did you end at fighting Ashanti? They say it's too much fighting and poisoning.
Okay, you let me choose my words carefully.
They are all members.
You let me. I won't speak for any of them. Let me just choose my words carefully.
The reason why Randy is avoiding this,
the poisoning.
No, he wants you to avoid the trap set for yourself, and he tell you why he doesn't want to go there.
So we knew that there was the Ashanti picture and the people in contention, and that if the flag bearer was so minded to say that, okay, you guys, you are just undoing yourselves and cutting each other, so let me just wipe it off and go outside. That's where Nana Komia, who's currently VIP of the campaign,
is the
front runner
for the non-Ashanti.
For the non-Ashanti. I know that there are people, who are trying to also look for Ashanti roots for Nana Komia, because there's somebody who's known as an Easterner. I'm told that recently they found Ashanti roots for him. So he's doing both.
Ghana.
Then this morning, we realized that it appears that is the Professor Nana Jane effect.
Yeah.
So there is this push that, in fact, go look for a woman. It must be a woman. And so we now see that they say there are 3 females are front runners. So the chief of staff, whose name had come up earlier, a song was even composed for her. Yeah. A campaign song for her. As running mate. Then Mrs. Eslaosu Ekufu, whose name keeps coming. And then we also have Irene Natoshi Ado also coming. And I don't know why, but I seem to always forget her new last name.
Who?
Irene.
Yes.
No,
it's Latte.
Latte. The latte doesn't come. I'm so
Latte.
used to. I've done the Natoshi Ado for like 50 years.
Popular, yeah.
So now this is I'm told this is the new.
This
is that a feeling in your quarters? Is that what's
this woman are stalwarts of our party. The pedigree in our party cannot be questioned. You may like them or not like them, but in terms of their standing in the party, these are stalwarts of the party. But what all of us should agree to is that until the flag bearer brings up a name, as for these speculations, it will never stop. We heard about the Ashanti one. I've never
2 weeks ago, the Gadang, with some chiefs in Gadang,
Yes.
the presser, and they said that Irene Natoshi should be the.
Yeah. So what we should look, John Mahama said that.
That's the song. That's the.
John Mahama said, you know, when John Mahama was doing his talk before he brought
the
name.
song is it to convince the flag bearer or what?
It's a campaign song. It's to trip up
really? But do you campaign for running it?
She has not.
She hasn't
officially commissioned it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was done without her
knowledge.
Oh, really?
Her knowledge and permission.
Because you always have friends.
Oh, I see.
But you think this is all this speculation that my name you think I know anything about? I don't. Now,
Doc, you believe
what I'm saying is that
politicians say you believe in those.
There are some words and phrases that when they are used by politicians, I understand them.
Listen, I'm saying that until the name comes out.
Yes.
In fact, it will be strange if the speculations don't go on.
Right.
It will be very strange.
Right.
Yes. For a big party like the NPP and a big party like the NDC, until you bring the name. Remember John Mahama?
Yes.
When he was doing his tour, every chief that he met
had a proposal.
had a candidate that was so it was like every region one candidate. And, you know, so, but of course now the NDC is not going to go through that because the candidate has been aided. Yeah. And until Bawumia names the candidate, these things.
Do you think he should do an earlier date?
Before May? No, May is okay. It's only 2 months. He was elected. No, John Mahama took 1 year to give us the same candidate.
Yes.
1 year to name Okudjeto's former boss. I mean, if he hadn't come up with a new name, I could have said, well, maybe in the 1 year he was. The same name. It took him 1 year. So let's give Bawumia. It's fine. Bawumia came.
You are not threatened by. You are not threatened by the entry of this woman.
If it's going to be a woman thing, I'm not a woman. So
no, I'm saying you are not threatened because up until they came into the fray, it was just you and the Ashanti caucus.
But I think that he has a flair for being in competition with women.
Who?
You know, Nana, I think he will do better in this aspect of the competition than with the Ashanti competition.
No, which women do I compete
No, I mean you have a certain flair, which is quite renowned.
You mean he attracts female votes? That's what you want to say?
And all of that.
But you have your vote. You are not a female.
It's a mixed bag.
No, I think Nana, the point he's making is that maybe of all the people that you're speaking about, the males, maybe you have a better, an advantage of attracting, let's say, female votes than the others.
But when you do a poll?
What is known, you don't really require a poll to confirm it.
Social media poll. The last time you were telling us about something on social media, and then we got a test that actually there's a poll on social media. You were going to be the right.
Okay, so let me move to you, and then we'll wrap up on that one.
Yeah.
Look, after all our haircuts and all those things, we saw this memo about GMPC running around, and I've seen you.
Yeah.
I've read you actually. Yeah. Right on that.
Yeah.
And
actually, I put out the memo.
Yes, you put it out.
Yes, I intercepted it.
Okay. So, memo, Chief Executive Secretariat. In fact, when I saw it, I didn't know which institution it was about because the document does not say so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In about 3 minutes, just tell us about this document, what it means.
Yes. So I intercepted this memo from the GMPC Chief Executive Secretariat. GMPC, yes, right from the CEO's office. And it's a memo dated 31st August 2022, addressed to the Deputy Chief Executive for Finance and Administration.
So it's about a year and a half old.
Yes. And it says that with immediate effect, that is 31st August 2022, these are the new allowances, per diems, and hotel rates that have been approved. The Freddie Blay-led board met and decided that the hotel rates should move up by a whopping 150% from $400 to $1,000 pounds or euros, depending on where you are traveling to a night or per day.
That's not what's on the screen.
Yes.
It's 500 to 850.
There are two.
I'm dealing with hotel rates.
There's per diem and there's hotel rates.
I'm dealing with hotel rates first. So
this is the...
So hotel rates...
This is the per diem?
Yes. Hotel rates...
The lower one is hotel rates. The upper one is per diem.
So hotel rates have gone up from $400, 400 euros, 400 pounds to 1,000. Then the per diem for the chairman of the board has gone up from 500 to 850, depending on where you are traveling a day. And then for the chief executive and other board members, it's 500 to 700. Now, this comes at a time that we had been assured in Parliament, the president, around that same period, the president, the finance minister, that they have instructed everybody to reduce their budget, to take a pay cut. Indeed, the SIGA boss, Stephen Asamoah Boateng at the time, told Parliament and also the media, I have here a press cutting from Asasi Radio, where he said that all the SOEs have been directed to cut down their budget. And he gave a range of 25 to 30%. So to see this memo, which is such a betrayal at a time that everybody is being forced to take financial haircuts, because this economy has been so poorly mismanaged. The economy is now on life support. We are desperately seeking an IMF bailout. We've been declared insolvent. We are bankrupt. We can't pay our debts. You do know that we've been downgraded by all the rating agencies, junk status, from Moody's, Fitch, Standard & Poor's. And these SOEs have become such a liability. Majority of them are making losses.
But Sammy, shouldn't we look at institutions like GMPC differently? So let me make this point. So, for example, GMPC is a partner in Jubilee. Jubilee has other companies. You understand me? Now, shouldn't we be looking at what pertains with the Talos and the others, and let GMPC be around?
You can make that point, but even that, GMPC is not doing well. Their health. If you read the latest PIAC report, PIAC has also raised concern about their administrative costs that has gone up by 200%. And you see,
are they still maintaining that company, that offshore team?
Yes.
They still haven't given it to Esploco.
They know, they're still doing that. And you see, my major concern is how incestuous this whole arrangement is. So my checks at the finance ministry, this also came to them as a shock. The finance ministry had sent a memo to all these SOEs that when you want to review your allowances, come to us for approval, because we have the bigger picture. We know the health of the economy. They didn't. I have checked. I formally checked, requested from the ministers to know if they approve this. They have no idea. I checked with the Ministry of Energy. They also didn't approve this. So the board and
the management... But this has been going on for about 18 months.
The board, yes. And they had no idea. The board and the management just sat quietly under the cover of darkness. So what I have done, I have proposed an amendment to the SIGA law. And I met with the Legal Directorate of Parliament. We're going to have a private members legislation where these allowances and conditions of service should come to Parliament for approval. This must stop. And you see, other memos I have, which I had intended to serialize. This CEO is also requesting new salaries. He wants his salary doubled. He's arguing that...
Yeah, that's what came up recently.
Yes.
I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, some workers...
amongst the senior staff. He wants to be pegged at the same level as the governor of the central bank, with other land cruisers and all of that. It's appearing to be some retirement package, that some of these CEOs are now asking for. But
I think they want to be on like some 60K USD or something.
It comes at huge cost. Look at the state of this economy. Look at the state. And already, if you look at it...
I've just been informed that companies like Talo and others, they don't do per diem. They do accountable interest.
Yeah.
But
and you see what...
One second. There's a directive from the Ministry of Finance as to in fact, they actually state the figures of allowances of board members. So I'm surprised that...
But we cannot treat all SOEs are the same.
No, what you see, what you can do is that if you declare profit at
allowances,
okay,
that's it from the finance ministry. 2 years ago or more.
Yeah, but they are not complying.
Yeah,
they are not complying.
Because you see, the kind of expertise that you require for some of these companies. I mean, if you also don't peg things at a certain level, you might not get what you want.
Already, if you look at what was, existing, it's far higher than a lot of places. Yeah. Do you know PBC, which collapsed recently, and they are auctioning their assets?
Yes.
You know that right until the collapse of PBC, they were always increasing the allowances. The last time
for board members?
Yes, for board members. Allowances and per diem.
If you're a board member of a company that is making losses, how do you approve?
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand if profitability is going
I'm told that at STC, sorry I'm putting you on the spot. I'm told that at STC, it took you over a year after assuming office to get an official vehicle. Is that correct?
Oh no, 3 years.
3 years?
No, because STC is a transport company. The lifeblood of the company is buses. When I got there, we had 50 buses, 20 of which could not travel. So the first priority was to get those buses working. We got them working when we established terminals we changed the terminal so that we could come into Kumasi. Then all of a sudden, we're short of buses. And people will go to the terminal and sit there for hours, no bus. And say, but all this noise that you've made, we come here, there's no bus. Then you go and buy, but as a CEO, I'm entitled to an official car.
Yes.
Then you go and buy an official car, and there are no buses.
Yeah.
So
that's why you waited for 3 years.
So I waited until we got 100 new buses.
Before you go on.
We got our
Yeah, commendable. So, that's the kind of mentality and attitude we need. Look, do you know that
where do you want to take this to?
The last time these SOEs reported to Parliament, they made 5.3 billion losses. When you put the 49 SOEs we have in this country together, 5.3 billion. So I've started a process with the Legal Directorate of Parliament. I want us to stop this incestuous arrangement where boards and management meet and say, "Oh, board chairman, you take yours. You are moving this." We to give us our, and it doesn't. And it doesn't go to any independent body, for final approval. So I want that all of these conditions of service should be brought.
They take a cue from
because
the S gratia.
There are some of these boards.
For the presidency and principal.
There are some of these boards that, and when I did further checks, they return and never even account. They've never returned anything to chest, and they give them cash when they are traveling. They're COP28. They spend 21 days.
Who?
These GMPC people.
They spent 21 days.
Yes, in Dubai.
Oh, okay. I said that's work. It's official, sir.
Official.
The conference lasts for three weeks.
No, there are side meetings,
advanced meetings.
There are meetings and all that. Yeah.
Look, the things I have seen.
The boardroom is a complex place.
The things I have seen. Look, this country is being mailed across the board. Anyway. And you are making 5.3 billion CD losses.
Okay, we need to go. Thanks, Nana and Sami, for joining me. And,
Pleasure.
Have a great weekend.
All right.
So up next, Metro Sports.